Onana was brought in to revolutionise Manchester United's goalkeeping, but has he actually made us worse? From his massive transfer fee to his rollercoaster 2 seasons, today we're breaking down Onana's stats, his highs and lows, the mistakes that have left fans fuming, and what the future holds for United's goalkeeper position. Let's get into it. According to quotes attributed to Omar Barada, he believes players should succeed at the club within 2 years, or be moved on. Underperforming stars, you have been warned. Well, come June, Onana will have been at the club for 2 years, meaning it's now up to us to decide whether he needs to be moved on. It has been reported that there is serious interest in Onana from the Saudi Pro League, with Manchester United willing to listen to offers for him. Ruben Amorim is not against selling Onana. The goalkeeper has been unsettled at Old Trafford for some time. This isn't the only source that suggested Amorim wants to move Onana on. Samuel Luckhurst of the Manchester Evening News has also come out saying Ruben Amorim wants to sign a new goalkeeper. However, on the player's side, it looks as though Onana won't be leaving Manchester United unless expressly told there's not a place for him, as reported by ESPN. Andre Onana would only consider leaving if he were told that he was no longer part of the plans. This comes as somewhat of a shock given the exorbitant amount of money that was spent on Onana. It's also surprising given the fact that we let go of a living Manchester United legend in David De Gea to bring him to the club. Not to mention that at the start of this season, Onana was actually playing pretty well. But then again, to ignore the ridiculously high amount of mistakes Onana has made in only 2 years, it's easy to see why Amorim would look to bring his own man in such a key position. Upon the announcement of Amorim's arrival way back in November, the optimism was high for Onana. Everyone knew Amorim preferred a three at the back system, so it would have been easy to think Onana would have had more cover. I mean, he himself came out in support of Amorim's system, saying the transitional period wouldn't be too bad. And we all know how that turned out. Here's what he had to say. Different system, but my team, we are pragmatic. We are able to play in different systems. We will adapt. United splashed out £47 million to sign Onana from Inter Milan. The idea? A modern goalkeeper who could play out from the back. Did United overpay for pretty much a glorified cheerleader? Let me know in the comments. For the record, I asked the Old Truthfordians over on Instagram, and man, after 2,000 votes, 85% voted in favour of selling the Ghanaian. It's safe to say this man is not a popular bunny right now. Let's talk numbers. How has Onana actually performed since arriving at Old Trafford? Do the stats back up the criticism? Or is he better than people think? Now, just in defence of Onana here, he probably signed at the worst time in Manchester United's modern history. The season before current, we had an injury-stricken side, which led to us seeing about 2 billion centre-back partnerships, and for that reason, it's not entirely fair to put these stats solely on him. It's the same reasoning that a goalkeeper will struggle to win a Ballon d'Or, as their success strongly depends on the defence. But either way, let's have a look at his stats. Games played, 91. Clean sheets, 22, giving him a 1 in 4 chance of keeping a clean sheet when he plays. In those 91 games, he has conceded 136 goals, meaning on average, every time he plays, we concede at least 1 goal. This season, he has made 3 direct errors, leading to goals in 29 appearances, meaning based on the data, there's a 10% chance he'll be solely responsible for us conceding a goal. But let's look at Onana's highs and lows. It wasn't too long ago that Onana was actually performing pretty well. From winning awards to impressive stats, at the start of the season, it really looked like he turned a corner. Here's a few stats and awards that Onana could boast about at the time. Most goals prevented in the Premier League this season, Andre Onana, 3.7. 2 Save of the Month awards this season. The man even won our Player of the Month in September. Believe it or not, he was leading the race to win the Premier League Golden Glove in December as well. He was even setting records, for Christ's sake. Man United stars won award more times than any goalkeeper after claiming November's prize for stunning stop against Ipswich. However, as the highs come, so do the lows. Now, we could go through every moment where Onana has cost United points, positional errors, misjudged passes, and the times he just looks lost, but we would be here all day. So I thought I would put together a quick little montage for you to remember some of Onana's most notorious shockers instead.
Silence
When Onana first joined, a lot of people said he's so good with his feet, he could play in midfield, which is actually making quite a lot of sense now because at times he's looked more like an outfield player trying to play in goal. So what do pundits, fans, and even Amorim have to say about Andre Onana? Let's have a look. When asked which players he would keep, Manchester United legend Paul Scholes said he would keep Andre Onana. Ruben Amorim had this to say on Onana's distribution: "You can feel it in the first goal kick with Andre Onana. He's thinking what to do and everybody is so anxious. At this moment, everybody in the club is tired of these moments," which was pretty damning to hear at the time, and I don't think that Amorim's mind has changed on Onana. The only reason he hasn't been dropped is most likely because Altay Bayindir has been injured. And as for the fans' opinion on Onana, as mentioned earlier, roughly 85% of Manchester United fans would be happy to sell him right now. One thing you can't deny is that Onana has a big personality, or at least he wants to come across that he does. Another man with a big personality and skin as smooth as a baby's backside following his laser hair treatment is Diogo Dalot, who had this to say on Onana: "Andre is so important, that's why the club signed him. To make saves like this and to help us. He's been really good this season." No, but in all seriousness, Onana does see himself as a part-time motivational speech expert. Get a load of this. "There is no time to cry, we have to move on. Good games will come, we know that. Better days will come. Like I always say, it will never rain forever here. The sun will shine." Now, I'm torn on this because obviously you have to have the mindset that things are going to improve in order to advance yourself in any area, really. You have to focus on the positives, but Onana has come out with so much of this motivational BS, despite putting in poor performance after poor performance, that it's just become a bit cringe at this point. One thing that did alarm me is a quote from Lenny Yoro. Here's what he had to say on Onana: "He has a great personality. He's a relaxed guy. I talk a lot with him and with Ahmad. When we eat, we talk about football and his experience because he had a great career." Great personality, relaxed guy, sure. He had a great career is a bit of a stretch, no? He's had one good season at Inter Milan, a couple alright seasons at Ajax, and since he's come to United, he's been a letdown in all honesty. Is Onana really the guy we want these young players looking up to when they join the squad? I'm not sure he is. So what happens next? Is Onana United's long-term number one, or will they look for a new goalkeeper? Well, if you haven't guessed by this point which way I'm leaning, turn off the video. What's funny is that only a few months ago, the conversation was whether Altay Bayindir would leave Manchester United. Ruben Amorim was said to have wanted real competition for Onana this year, and Bayindir was not considered a credible competitor. As mentioned earlier, there have been multiple reports of Onana wanting to stay at United. Andre Onana is intent on staying at Manchester United next season despite his struggling form. Ruben Amorim wants to sign a new goalkeeper in the summer, but Onana considers Manchester United the only club he wishes to play for. However, it may well be out of his hands now, with Manchester United linked to a number of keepers, including Royal Antwerp's Sen Lammens, Milan's Mike Maignan, and James Trafford. So, in conclusion, Andre Onana, was he the right signing for United, or did the club make a huge mistake? I think it's safe to say, looking back on his time at United, Erik ten Hag has one of the worst talent IDs we have ever seen. Almost all of his big transfers were complete flops, and unfortunately for Onana, he's but another name on that list. Manchester United need to sell Onana this summer. What's your opinion on Onana? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, drop a like and subscribe for more honestly biased sports content. But for now, Godspeed.